What if I told you 2K26 is about to be something special? But it's up to you to make it as great as it could be. That's what's happening, y'all. We're going to get into all the news from Community Day, a lot of impressions already out there, and what to expect for the next week of a lot of new content, some really good stuff happening. Super excited. I did do a big breakdown on this story trailer. If you want to watch that, but today we're not diving into the story much. We'll get into it a little bit later, but mostly we're going to stick to what has been going around town. This is an important topic about what you can expect from me. I'm going to be covering everything that everybody else is doing. I do recommend for you to check them out for yourself. I have a Twitter with all of the people who made it to Community Day that you can check out and basically rock out with them as you go forward. Okay. But let's do it. We're going to dive right on in. Hope you guys enjoy. First thing I want to say is you have to take all this news about people who went to Community Day and played early with a grain of salt. They did not play the full game. They did not play 100 hours of the game like we will. We'll have, me personally, I put 2,000 plus hours or more sometimes into the game. It's not a lot, but it's enough for me to play competitively, win some tournaments, also play casually, and just vibe out with the stream. And it's a different game from the first day you play all the way up, 3 months later. So don't judge everything with, oh, this is the long term of the game. It just means they got on and they had a good time. And that is the biggest thing I can take away from a lot of what people said. Definitely a lot of different people put in their names out there to say, hey, I had a good time with this. And that's what I would want you to focus on. I don't want you to think about this as like, oh, they're telling me to buy the game. Nobody should ever influence if you buy a game or not. But you can see right here, we're going to start off with stacked statistics. I call them stacks, but TJ, basically, he says, it's definitely a fun 2K. Not going to lie. Okay, that's pretty simple, straightforward. I don't think that's a lot, but I think that's cool to hear. Okay, we're going to get into that more. There was some really good impressions that we'll get into later. Then this Uncle Kano, he says, Community Day is over, and here's what you can expect from me. This is the stuff I want to talk about. Every person has different builds and different things that they want to showcase. So breakdowns on builds, 6.5 ISO, centers. And if you really want to look at each person that I showcase, you can do that on your own. Pause the screen and just take a screenshot or something. But he's basically going to get into everything, then the animations, as well as money jump shot. So that is fire. Hopefully he got some good for it. And leading along with that is Boom Boom, awesome lady here. She definitely is putting in work, and she's talking about getting some things for defense, lockdowns, some comparisons, basically a little bit of everything in her setup. She's gonna have some tutorials as well. I think this is good, and I'm excited. The big banger of the day, and it's like literally like the biggest news, is Mike Wang doing exclusive interviews. And so he did one with Joe Knows. He might have done more, I would assume, but Joe Knows is gonna ask him some questions. And to kind of break this down, he explains something that a lot of people don't know. I know y'all ain't like game designers, so y'all don't know better. But basically, the way this works, man, Mike Wang only does gameplay. He doesn't know nothing about it, about the story. He doesn't know nothing about the graphics or the VC. That's not his job. He focuses on gameplay. So Joe Knows has basically posted a couple of tweets like, hey, I'm going to ask him about gameplay. I'm not going to ask him, about something. It's like asking a plumber about electricity works. Like, he don't know better. But I would recommend to watch this to just hear Mike out. We never get to him to just sit down with a creator. I think it's been like a good amount of years since we got that. And then of course Joe Knows got a lot of builds. And one thing I love about Joe Knows, he played the way I played in the tournaments. When I originally was jumping into tournaments, I was playing something that could contact dunk, something that can, spark up still from 3 and just have a well-rounded game rather than just 3 hunting. And then I got banned. that build ain't valid in these tournaments. It was hilarious. But so I respect him in a different way because of that. And then we're gonna get into Solo here. Solo basically also has tons of builds. He's basically doing every version that he can. He basically tested every build. So from what I'm seeing, and he has some gameplay breakdowns, some dribble tutorials, and then even some one-on-one gameplay. It'd be cool to see if it's actual player versus player. Again, this is all early access, so this subject to change. You know, who knows what is going to be the best build. You can't rely on anything that's out there until it's officially announced. Okay, I mean, it's officially releases and you can see for yourself, but you can use these as guidelines. What I'm going to do is teach you how to break the builder down with all the information they're going to give. I'm going to know how to make builds by the end of it, and we'll test which build, which badge, which attribute is best. But these guys are getting to be people who kind of check out the builder first. Okay, I want to get into a quick topic that is one of the biggest things I want to say about this video, and it's an important one, so listen up. All right, you got a lot of creators. We already showed statistics, talk about one, and I want to talk about Pika and many others who basically are saying 2K's fired this year. She says, you know what? This is the first time you can actually blame us at Community Day if the game is bad. This is the first year that we actually got to use custom animations. And she also said the game is fire, which I'll showcase a little later. But then we also have Joey2K, another good creator who basically also gets into it and talks about lots of fun stuff and that he felt good about the game. Okay, and then one of the best people to rely on, 2K Labs' very own Spillboy, says it's gonna be a good year. That's all you gotta say. That's all you gotta say, brother. And that's all I needed. This was the first one that I was so hyped about. My man Kane Dooms putting in work with he said he made a 7'4". Again, all these creators are gonna have builds and stuff like that. Unk here also said NBA 2K26 is so fire. And then last but not tea time, that has nothing to do with anything other than him winning the one-on-one gauntlet, probably using a post-up cheese type of play style. I ain't mad at him. It is what it is, man. But so just to give you all a rundown on that information, what I want to try to help you understand is that everybody's opinion, an opinion, was from an early build that is not the final product. The balances will change. The devs are going to use their feedback and maybe adjust the game a little. And they're going to create a fun basketball game, hopefully. And we have to go out there and enjoy it as well. We have to be out there having the time of our lives. It's up to us. Just want to remind you, it's up to you to enjoy yourself, right? Don't depend on a video game to make something fun. Meaning, we could have our fun. Every year I get out here, I have a secret sauce, which is I'm not going to worry about what's my favorite 2K or what's a better 2K. I'm just going to play what's in front of me and enjoy it. And then next year, hopefully it's better and I enjoy it more next year. And I challenge myself like that. So I challenge you to do the same, right? Don't sit here and start getting mad about little silly things and turning it into some drama show. And it don't need to be all that, man. It ain't that deep, bruh. All right. But I did want to kind of talk about one more thing and kind of give you guys a couple of different things that I was thinking about and that I'm really loving so far. And it is about the shot meter. And this isn't a video talking about shooting or anything like that specifically, but I did want to kind of display this just so you can get a look at the actual shot meter. The shot meter is huge. Okay. I was worried it was going to be too small because, you know, we've been asking for no RNG and Mike Wayne is like, all right, you want no RNG? Here you go. We're going to make a window impossible. I thought he was about to be spiteful on us, but it's actually reasonable. Here goes your boy. But this is a huge meter, in my opinion. That's an easy green, most likely. And of course, it's probably on rookie, so it'll probably be smaller if you go on Hall of Fame when you play online. But this is it right here. Very good stuff. And I'm super excited about it. I do think it's going to be a great year for gaming in general when it comes to 2K. We're going to have our fun. We're going to be able to cook up, toss up. A couple more impressions and thoughts that I've not put in the video. Basically, the game feels more fluid, more responsive, and the dribbles are improved. There's some stuff people cooked up and really got to work, and they feel really good about the overall experience. Now, I don't know what that could mean, right? Like, this is take everything with a grain of salt. And everybody has different opinions and feelings of what they like or what they don't like. So never take it too serious. In my opinion, I just look at it as creators had a good time at the event. Good job. And then now they come home, they can go put out content, have, big bank, build their brand, become millionaires. That's perfect. And as for us, we're going to play the game when it releases. We'll test stuff out, see what we feeling, and then go from there. I don't need to think about the creators no more. Once the game's out, I get to see for myself. You know what I mean? You're going to buy a game because someone else told you, then don't buy it. That's how I look at it, in my opinion. But that's just me. I live like that with everything. If you're going to tell me about food, it's like, I'm going to go try it out. Let's see if it's any good, but mostly focus on what I want. So that's the deal. With that being said, a couple of little side notes. By the time this video comes out, I will have a big breakdown on my career because 2K did not release the official article. So I believe they're going to do that tomorrow. Well, today, when you're watching this video, I'll publish it. And then I'll have a second deep dive breakdown on the my career information and just get into it. And then you can expect even more. I'm talking about huge deep dives once we get the official dates. I mean, not dates. We know the dates, all right? These are the dates right here. You're going to see when the time comes to be able to go. So on Friday and Saturday, I'll be going crazy. Probably going to have 3-4 videos a day. Because I'm going to cover everybody's breakdowns and kind of learn and see what people are doing with builds and how they're progressing on the systems. Because the main thing I want to teach y'all is how these systems work. Okay. So at this time, I'm going to live stream during this, record, break down a bunch of footage and kind of see what people are doing and what the builder looks like in detail. And then record all that so I can upload it. So you can come to the live stream, learn with me, or you can just watch the video breakdown. Do both, man. All right. Y'all stay safe out there. Stay blessed. Like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed this and want more. We rocking out for the rest of the year. All right, y'all. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Peace.